Are you planning a trip to Porto and not sure if you should take the Ribeira Douro River Cruise?
Doesn't this look like a pirate ship? Look at this.
Stick around because I'm about to show you why it's worth it.
Where are we going? It seems to me that this is where we should make a turn, but we'll see.
You don't really know what to expect, how long it will take, and if you should add this to your list of things to do in Porto.
This looks like a point where the river is connected to the ocean. Look at this opening right there. That is pretty crazy. Oh wow.
And if you're not traveling right now but want to get a feel for Porto, come along on this virtual ride and experience the cruise with me. Together, we'll go under each of those bridges, find out what they're called, learn some fascinating facts about each one, and you'll get to see unique views of Porto that you can only catch from the river on the boat.
Just look at that. Isn't this incredible? It gives you this old world vibe.
When I visited Porto a few weeks ago, I didn't know anything about this boat ride. When a friend suggested a 2-day trip to Porto, we looked at those river cruises on the list of Porto's attractions and we weren't quite sure if we should take one or not. Those pirate-looking boats looked pretty cool, but there wasn't much information about it. We decided to go for it, and let me tell you, this was a highlight of our trip. By the way, when you book online, it doesn't tell you the type of boat you're going to ride or the departure time. We thought this was kind of strange, but the ticket was only 18 euros, so we figured we'd give it a try. Apparently, all boats leave from the same spot down in the Ribeira district. You don't actually pick your departure time during booking. Once you get to the pier, you just exchange your voucher and pick your time based on what's available. And if you're unsure about anything, you can always check with the tourist kiosks around Porto city center. So here we are at the embarkation point, right down in Porto's old Ribeira district. This cruise promises a pleasant ride through history, architecture, and pleasant views, all in less than an hour on the water. The whole trip, by the way, only takes about 50 minutes. So we're boarding our boat around 10 a.m. in the morning, and the Douro River is just waking up. Check out those pirate-looking boats drifting by. Those are called Ribeira boats. They used to carry barrels of port wine from the vineyards upriver down to Vila Nova de Gaia, the city just across the river from Porto, with all the famous port wine cellars. Those boats have flat bottoms because the river was rough before the dams were built. You'll see people snapping photos here, and you get this feeling of Porto vibe, a kind of relaxed pace with a bit of nostalgia and enjoying the moment. The locals here say that if you want to know Porto, you need to ride with its river, and that's exactly what we're gonna do today. The first magnificent bridge right in front of us is Dom Luís I Bridge. It's an iron, double-decked bridge, and it's one that connects Porto with Vila Nova de Gaia, where the port wine cellars are that I just mentioned. The upper deck carries metro trains and pedestrians, and cars use the lower deck. This bridge also takes people to Jardim do Moro Park, and it's exactly what people do. Every evening, the top level fills with crowds of people heading over to Gaia to catch one of the best sunset views in Porto. We've done just this last night, and trust me, it's an unforgettable experience. Stunning sunset views over the river, people celebrating life in the best way possible, picnics, meeting with friends, family, and live music all around. Visiting this park is definitely something to add to your Porto must-do list. There's even a local legend that says crossing the upper deck of the bridge with friends bonds you for life. Now let's get back to the bridge itself. The Dom Luís I Bridge was built in 1886. That's pretty old. When it was finished, its 172-meter iron arch was the longest of its kind in the world. I'm really glad you joined me. Now let's move on to the second bridge. This one is called Infante Dom Henrique Bridge. It looks sleek and modern, as you can see. It's named after Portugal's famous Prince Henry the Navigator, and it's one of the world's most slender concrete bridges. The main arch spans 280 meters, and when it was completed in 2003, it set world record for a concrete arch bridge. Ahead of us is the historic Maria Pia Bridge. This bridge was designed by Gustave Eiffel, the same engineer who built the Eiffel Tower. This elegant iron arch bridge was completed in 1877, which makes it the oldest of all bridges here. When it was built, it was the longest single arch bridge in the world, with the main arch stretching 160 meters. The bridge's beautiful iron arch was one of the first of its kind and carried trains for over a century. Next is the São João Bridge, a striking example of modern engineering and design. It was completed in 1991. This sleek concrete railway bridge replaced the historic Maria Pia Bridge for train traffic. Its simple design looks very different from the older iron bridges nearby, showing how Porto has moved into modern times while still remembering the past. At the eastern edge of Porto, the Freixo Bridge stands out as the longest bridge in the city, stretching about 705 meters. Opened in 1995, it serves as a crucial link for cars traveling in and out of Porto. It's the furthest bridge upriver and helps ease traffic by connecting major highways. The bridge features a modern double-deck design with 8 lanes, combining functionality with a sleek minimalist style. Now we're going to make a U-turn here. This is actually the point where the boats turn around. I tell you, we couldn't have a better weather for this boat ride. That wall that you see here was built in the 4th century, a true piece of Porto's ancient history. Over there you see an old railroad originally built in the 19th century. It has been used for over 100 years but was rebuilt recently. This is the monastery of Serra do Pilar. It's located in the park in Vila Nova de Gaia, just across the river from Porto. Its construction was completed in the 16th century. This monastery played an important role during historical battles and is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site with stunning views of Porto and the Douro River. Here's a great opportunity to snap some pictures of Ribeira, also UNESCO World Heritage Site. I got to say it's a pretty nice ride. You get to learn a bit about history, and here it is, the unpolished beauty of Porto.
And look at this ship right here. That is pretty big.
We are now approaching the Arrábida Bridge, often called the gateway to the Atlantic. When it was completed in 1963, it held the record for the widest reinforced concrete arch span in the world. This striking bridge stretches almost 500 meters, with its enormous central arch spanning 270 meters across the Douro River. That arch is what truly makes this bridge famous. It was the largest concrete arch ever built at the time.
And as you can see over there, there are some modern age buildings on the back. This looks like a point where the river is connected to the ocean. Look at this opening right there. That is pretty crazy. Oh wow. Here's another ship. It's about twice smaller than the one we just passed, but it's still quite big. Yes, we are making a turn.
Here's another beautiful boat. And now look at this one. We're passing tons of little, very distinct looking boats. On our right, we're passing Vila Nova de Gaia, known for its long history of port wine cellars that stretch along the riverbank. These cellars have been there since at least 1700s. storing and aging port wine in the cool, humid microclimate that helps the wine develop its unique character. Over time, Vila Nova de Gaia became the main place where port wine is kept before it's shipped out to the world. Tourists come here to visit some of the older cellars where they can see how the wine is made and taste it too. Passing under the bridges, these views of the riverfront is something you can only get from the boat. It looks like we're going to make a stop here in Vila Nova de Gaia. For a second I thought, are you kidding me? We need to get off the boat here? Wait, I thought we were going back to Porto where we started. We didn't get any heads up about that. Then I thought, maybe they're picking up some more people in Vila Nova de Gaia? Who knows? But as usual I said to myself, calma, it's Portuguese for relax. We'll find out in a minute. And we did. All it was, they were giving some people who wanted to visit this side of the river the chance to get off the boat here. They reassured the rest of us that in fact they planned to bring us back to our embarkation point, which is the Porto side of Douro River. So most people got off the boat and we made our way back. As we approach the docking point, I take a moment for the last look at the bridges and these beautiful historic buildings. Getting off the boat here means you're right there with the layers of history, the stoned walls, the aged tiles, and the unmistakable spirit of Porto itself. It's a spot that really stands out, where you can see the Porto's history up close. So here you go, 6 bridges, 6 chapters of Porto's incredible history. If I try to describe what makes this boat ride special, what pulls you out of your everyday life is the completely different feel of each bridge. Each with its own history, style, and the way it was built. Each bridge serves a unique purpose and shows a different time when old world met modern progress. But here's what else that makes this ride totally surreal. How often do you come to a spot where the peaceful landscapes on both sides of the river suddenly open up to the ocean? Just looking at it gave me chills and a deep sense of eternity. That's my answer to why you should take this unforgettable cruise. I say this trip was super pleasant. It gives you a bit of history and this wonderful feeling that you're on vacation. Isn't that what travel is all about? If you love river cruises, enjoy the peaceful glide with ever-changing scenery, and want to see Porto from fresh perspective, then definitely take this cruise if you get a chance. It rounds up your impression of Porto and leaves you satisfied with your trip. So go ahead and book it. You won't regret it. Now let me ask you, have you been to Peniche yet? It's a truly unique spot, a peninsula actually located on the silver coast of Portugal, known for its distinct vibe. Surrounded by the Atlantic on almost all sides, Peniche is a place that feels like its own world, rich with history and natural beauty. Click here to check it out.